I want to say a quick thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. What is up, guys? I just picked up a new book. It is called Solving the Procrastination Puzzle by Dr. Timothy Pitchell. It looks like a pretty short book, so I'm hoping I can read this thing through in a single sitting. According to Dr. Pitchell, procrastination is defined as needless voluntary delay. Procrastination is when we intentionally delay important tasks under the illusion that we'll feel more like doing them later on. And unfortunately, this is a bad habit I've been falling into more and more since the holidays, and that's a real problem because right now I'm in the middle of 2 fitness challenges. I work part-time in television and I'm working with 2 different directors on different script projects. So time management is essential and I am failing in that regard. So I'm gonna take on one more challenge, and that's to see if I can go 7 days straight without procrastinating on a single task. So to start off this challenge, I'm gonna take this book to a cafe, read through Dr. Pitchell's advice, and I'm gonna start my challenge first thing tomorrow. So it is minus 15 this morning, and I'm headed over to the gym to get a quick workout before I catch the subway to work. I picked the worst day for this challenge to start. I start my day off working out at the only 24-hour gym in my neighborhood. Right now, I'm working on learning a muscle up. So today, that means I'm training my biceps, my lats, as well as my upper and lower back. From here, it's to the subway, followed by a 10-hour shift working in the scene shop. On day 3, I wake up at 7. Usually this is when I would check my phone, go on Twitter or YouTube. Instead, I forced myself this morning to get up and do some stretching as part of a flexibility challenge I'm working on. After that, I forced myself to the gym, and by 10 a.m. I'm out the door on my way to do some writing at a coffee shop. Last night, one of the directors I'm working with emailed me back a whole bunch of feedback on one of the drafts I'm working on. So, gonna go through feedback right now, write up some new ideas, some comments, and hopefully that'll take me about 2.5 hours, or maybe later days, so gotta get this done. Once again, I'm making a priority not to have access to Wi-Fi while I'm working, so I can put in 3 hours of work without the temptation to become distracted. So, back from the cafe, it is now 2:38, and I don't have a meeting with the director for a couple hours. The next thing on my list is I have to go clean up my TV room. I was shooting a 3-minute thoughts in there over the weekend. Haven't had a chance yet to actually fix the place, but I actually think it's going to be a good chance to take a whole bunch of stuff out of the room, maybe do some reorganizing, and that should take me a good hour to 2 right up until the meeting, I think. Two days ago, I ordered in some new audio equipment because I'm going to be filming tomorrow afternoon in a yoga studio, and I need to be able to mic the instructor. I don't know how any of this works right now. It's 9:30. The last thing I want to do is try and figure this out, but this is really a thing I shouldn't put off, so here we go. If I'm being honest, nothing stresses me out more than working with sound equipment. Testing. I completely don't understand it. Testing, anything. So it is 6 a.m. and the last thing I want to do right now is get up and go to the gym. That's the first thing on my to-do list. I'm gonna have a full day today, so that's that. One of the strategies Dr. Pitchell lays out in his book is the notion of just getting started, which seems really obvious, but it's based on the logic that our perspective on tasks changes between the moment before we start and once we actually get going. Once we get going, we actually tend to enjoy the work much more than we think we will. So I'm gonna try and embrace that logic this morning, get to the gym, and hopefully I enjoy it a lot more than I think I will. And I don't. My entire morning workout is a slog where I feel unmotivated, distracted, and just frustrated. The thing is, last night I couldn't get my mic or my audio recorder to work, and I need both those items by 1 p.m. today, so that is stressing me out a little bit. Fortunately, the audio shop is open at 9, so it gives me time to go home, shower, and breakfast, and that becomes the first priority on my list. The audio store, it turned out my first problem was my SD card, so I had to purchase a new one of those, and I had to pick up an adapter cable for my lav mic. Both those items appear to be working properly now, so hopefully all I have to do now is go home, assemble the rest of my gear, and I should be good to go. And filming at the yoga studio actually goes really great, which I am so thankful and relieved about because nothing stresses me out quite like working with audio equipment, especially new audio equipment that I'm not familiar with. I feel like a weight has been lifted. The last thing I have to do today is I have about 4 to 5 hours of editing to put together an assembly edit that I promised I would send Cam by the end of the night. Before I get started on that, I am going to take a break because yesterday going item by item by item without any planned stops burned me out. So I'm gonna take 30 minutes, put on some music, read a book, and relax to recharge some of the batteries before I get back to doing the edit.
In his book, Everybody Lies, author Seth Steven Davidowitz explains how online platforms are using big data to maximize user engagement. Companies like Netflix, YouTube, and Facebook all employ algorithms to micro-target your recommendations and A/B test design models, all with the intent of figuring out what keeps our eyes on the screen and our fingers scrolling. Because of this, if I'm not careful, what I think will be just 20 minutes online can easily turn into 2 hours before I even realize the time has passed.
Because my work on days 1 through 4 have gone pretty well so far, Catherine and I actually had extra time today, so we're putting up shelves in our TV room, which is something we've been meaning to do for a long time, and it's a first step in making this space something that feels more like our home with our own styles and touches to it.
By the end of the week, I'm not convinced it's completely possible to live without ever procrastinating. But what I learned from this challenge is we are very good at rationalizing bad behavior to ourselves. I tell myself all the time I'll go to the gym in an hour, but not right now. And actually I should write that scene tomorrow, but not today. Being able to recognize these thoughts as essentially procrastination 101 is the first step to breaking the habit of putting things off. The second step is to reduce stress in your life. That's because the more stressed you are, the more likely you are to procrastinate. One of Dr. Pitchell's advice in this subject is to break up big projects into incremental goals so your workload never feels overwhelming. And the third thing I learned is good work leads to more good work. Once I was able to cross off those first couple items on my to-do list, I always felt like I could ride the momentum into the next task and the task after that, which is what I'm gonna try and do next week so I can hopefully build off the success I had this week and not fall back into my old procrastinating ways. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching, and I want to say a special thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you are someone who owns a small business, one thing you don't want to be putting off is getting your own website. That is where Squarespace has you covered. Squarespace provides users with a powerful and beautiful online platform from which you can build your own website. With award-winning templates, Squarespace is used by a wide range of creators, including musicians, artists, designers, restaurants, and more. This is a look at my brother Cam's website that he set up through Squarespace for his photography and videography work in order to showcase his work and start booking clients. So if you're in the market for a new website, go to squarespace.com/goalguys to get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I believe Cam will have a new video out next week. Thanks again for watching. Cheers.